Rejection is a part of life, but it doesn't have to define us. Stoicism, a philosophy practiced by ancient Greeks and Romans, offers timeless wisdom on how to navigate setbacks and find strength in adversity. Life is a chaotic, unpredictable series of events. It throws us curveballs, tests our limits, and often leaves us feeling lost and uncertain. One of the most common and painful experiences we all share is that of rejection. Whether it's a romantic rejection, a professional setback, or a social exclusion, the sting of being told no can cut deep. But what if I told you that rejection, despite its unpleasant nature, holds within it the seeds of growth and resilience? What if I told you that by adopting the principles of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that emphasizes virtue, reason, and living in accordance with nature, we can transform rejection from a source of despair into a catalyst for profound personal development? The Stoics believed in a fundamental principle known as the dichotomy of control. This principle teaches us that our energy is best spent focusing on what we can control: our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, rather than wasting it on external events outside our sphere of influence. When we obsess over things we cannot change, we surrender our power and become slaves to circumstance. Imagine for a moment the experience of being rejected for a job you desperately wanted. The initial sting is undeniable. You might feel a wave of disappointment, perhaps even anger or resentment. But it's crucial to remember that while you cannot change the outcome of that particular job application, you have complete control over how you choose to respond. You can choose to internalize the rejection, allowing it to chip away at your self-worth, or you can choose to view it as an opportunity for growth. This is where the Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control becomes paramount. Instead of dwelling on the rejection, shift your attention inwards. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I improve my skills and enhance my prospects for the future? Can I use this as fuel to work even harder, to hone my craft, and to emerge as a stronger, more competent individual? By embracing the dichotomy of control, you reclaim your power. You transform from a passive recipient of external circumstances into an active agent in your own life. You begin to see rejection not as a roadblock, but as a detour, a redirection towards a path better suited for your unique talents and aspirations. One of the most powerful concepts in Stoicism is Amor, Fati, a Latin phrase that translates to love of fate. This doesn't mean passively accepting whatever life throws at you, but rather embracing every experience, both positive and negative, as an essential thread in the grand tapestry of your life. Rejection, however unpleasant in the moment, is not an anomaly. It's a recurring motif in the human experience. It's the missed opportunity, the closed door, the no that forces us to reconsider our path. And within that redirection, within that seeming setback, lies the potential for profound growth and unforeseen opportunity. Think of it like this. Imagine you're set on taking a particular route to a destination, but you encounter an unexpected road closure. You're forced to take a detour, and in doing so, you stumble upon a hidden gem you never would have discovered otherwise. A charming cafe, a breathtaking vista, an encounter that changes the course of your journey. Rejection, in many ways, operates in the same way. It forces us off our predefined paths, pushing us to explore uncharted territory within ourselves and in the world around us. It challenges our assumptions, compels us to reassess our goals, and often leads us to destinations far more rewarding than those we initially envisioned. Now, the idea of intentionally meditating on negative outcomes might seem counterintuitive, even somewhat masochistic. But the Stoics, in their wisdom, recognized the profound psychological benefit of a practice known as Premeditatio Malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. This isn't about cultivating pessimism or dwelling in negativity. It's about mentally rehearsing potential setbacks, including rejection, to diminish their emotional impact when they inevitably arise. By confronting the possibility of negative outcomes in advance, we rob them of their power to paralyze us with fear or send us spiraling into despair. Imagine, for instance, you're about to give an important presentation. You've poured your heart and soul into it, and the stakes are high. Instead of succumbing to performance anxiety, you engage in Premeditatio Malorum. You envision the worst-case scenario. Perhaps you stumble over your words, your technology malfunctions, or your audience seems disengaged. By mentally rehearsing these potential setbacks, you accomplish two crucial things. First, you desensitize yourself to the emotional sting of failure. The actual experience, should it even occur, is unlikely to be as devastating as the scenarios you've already played out in your mind. Second, you're better equipped to handle adversity should it arise. One of the most liberating realizations we can glean from Stoicism is the understanding that emotions, like everything else in life, are impermanent. They are like waves that rise and fall, ebbing and flowing within us. To resist them, to cling desperately to fleeting feelings of joy, or allow ourselves to be swept away by currents of despair, is to create unnecessary suffering. Rejection often triggers a cascade of painful emotions: sadness, disappointment, self-doubt. It's easy to get caught in the undertow of these feelings, to allow them to define our perception of ourselves and our worth. However, the Stoics remind us that these emotional states, however intense, are ultimately transient. They will pass. Think of it this way. Imagine you're caught in a sudden downpour. You have two choices. You can either curse the rain, bemoaning your misfortune and allowing yourself to become drenched and miserable. Or you can accept that the rain is simply a part of life, a temporary meteorological event that will soon pass. The same principle applies to our emotional lives. By recognizing the impermanent nature of our feelings, we develop a sense of detachment from them. We observe them without judgment, acknowledging their presence without allowing them to dictate our actions or define our sense of self. As social creatures, it's natural to crave validation from others. We seek approval, acceptance, and recognition for our talents, accomplishments, and even our very existence. However, when our sense of self-worth becomes tethered to external validation, we set ourselves up for a precarious existence, vulnerable to the whims and opinions of others. Rejection, in its various forms, can feel like a referendum on our worth. It can trigger deep-seated insecurities and make us question our value. But here's the crucial point. Your worth is not contingent upon the opinions of others. It's an intrinsic quality inherent within you, independent of external circumstances or the judgments of others. Think of it like this. Your value as a human being is not determined by the number of likes you receive on a social media post, the outcome of a job interview, or the acceptance or rejection of a romantic advance. These are merely external data points, reflections of subjective opinions and circumstances that hold no real bearing on your inherent worth. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. They believed that true self-worth stemmed from living a virtuous life, from cultivating character traits such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These are the qualities that define us, not the fleeting opinions of others. One of the most valuable aspects of rejection is its potential to provide us with invaluable feedback. Instead of viewing rejection as a purely negative experience, we can choose to approach it with a mindset of curiosity and growth. Embedded within every no, within every closed door, is an opportunity for learning and self-improvement. Think of it like this. Imagine you're an aspiring writer and you receive a rejection letter from a literary agent. While it's natural to feel a pang of disappointment, instead of tossing the letter aside in defeat, consider it from a different perspective. Perhaps the agent's feedback, however brief, contains a kernel of truth that can help you refine your craft. Maybe the agent found your writing style to be unclear, or your plot to be predictable. This feedback, while initially stinging, is far more valuable than a generic form rejection. It provides you with specific areas to focus on, concrete aspects of your writing that you can work on improving. Rejection, when viewed through this lens, transforms from a setback into a stepping stone. Rejection, while often painful, can serve as a powerful motivator. It has the capacity to ignite a fire within us, to clarify our values, and to fuel our determination to pursue our goals with renewed vigor. When we encounter rejection, it often forces us to confront a fundamental question. What truly matters to me? If a particular path closes, if a door slams shut, it's often a sign that it's time to reassess our direction. Perhaps the rejection was a blessing in disguise, redirecting us towards a path more aligned with our authentic selves, our deepest passions, and our unique talents. Think of some of the most successful individuals throughout history: artists, entrepreneurs, visionaries, many of whom encountered countless rejections along their paths. What set them apart was not their immunity to setbacks, but their unwavering belief in their vision and their ability to transmute rejection into fuel for their creative fire. The Stoics recognized that true fulfillment in life stemmed from identifying and pursuing our purpose, from aligning our actions with our values. Rejection, in its own way, can help us clarify this purpose. It can illuminate the paths that are not meant for us and illuminate the ones that are. Rejection is not the end, but a new beginning. By embracing Stoic principles, you can transform setbacks into stepping stones towards a more resilient and fulfilling life. Like and subscribe for more insights on personal growth and well-being. Remember, you possess an immense wellspring of resilience within you. You have the power to choose how you respond to life's challenges, to transmute adversity into growth, and to emerge from the fires of rejection stronger and more determined than ever before.